You are walking along the edge of a quiet village where the grass grows tall and wildflowers bend to the wind like old listeners bowing to secrets. The world here is soft. Fog settles low in the morning, and the air always carries the smell of moss and rain whether or not the clouds have come. And in this village, past the fields and beyond the old willow that splits like two arms reaching out, lives a woman no one has heard speak. Her name is Elira. No one remembers when she arrived. Some say she simply appeared after a storm. Others say she's always been here, only no one ever really looked. Her house is made of stone and draped with ivy. No flowers grow in her garden, but there are always mushrooms in her path, and the birds that land on her windowsill never seem to sing. She smiles often and waves, and helps carry baskets and feeds stray cats, but she does not speak. Not a whisper, not a word, only silence, like a calm lake that never ripples. Children once dared each other to ask her questions. Miss Elira, why don't you talk? Miss Elira, can you even speak? She would only smile, and sometimes she would look up at the sky. It was old Marathe Baker's widow who first told the story. She swore that once, years ago, she was caught in a sudden downpour and passed by Elira's cottage, and she heard her singing. But only because it was raining, she said, shaking her flower dusted hands. The rain fell, and her voice rose with it, like it was part of the storm. No one believed her, of course, but some listened more carefully on rainy days. Tonight, it rains, not the soft kind, not the kind that taps gently like a lullaby. This is the long rain, the whispering rain, the kind that starts just after sunset and continues until the earth forgets what dry feels like. The villagers light candles early. Chickens roost with fluffed feathers. Dogs curl up at doorways. And through it all, Elira walks. She wears a gray shawl, damp at the edges. Her boots leave perfect dark prints behind. And though the wind hums low and steady, she moves like she hears another song. You watch from your window. Something in you feels called, not in fear, not in worry, just a quiet need to know. And then you hear it, faint at first, like the wind brushing through reeds, then clearer, a voice, soft, steady, ancient. She sings, but no song you've heard before, no melody from lullabies, no rhyme from prayers. The words don't even feel like words. They feel like remembering, like the sound of water over stone, like the first time you cried alone. And all at once, the village is listening, not with ears, but with something older. The rain grows heavier. So does the song. And as it does, you realize something. The rain isn't falling on her. You blink. You squint through the foggy glass. She walks under the storm, but her hair is dry, her shoulders untouched. Even the cats that trail behind her seem to stay dry beneath an invisible canopy. She sings, and with every note, you remember something you forgot. A time you wanted to scream but stayed quiet. A moment you almost said, I love you, but swallowed it. A secret you never told. Elera sings, These things not yours alone, but everyone's. She doesn't speak because the world is too loud, but when it rains, everything else hushes, and the truth can finally rise. By midnight, the whole village stands outside in the rain. No umbrellas, no coats, just bare arms and closed eyes. Some are crying, some are smiling, all are silent, and in the center, Elira, singing. Her voice no longer faint, not a secret, not hidden. It echoes not like thunder, but like memory. Then, as quickly as it began, the song ends. She stops. The rain stops. And for the first time in your life, you hear her speak. Just one sentence. Now you can listen too. And she turns, walks home. You wake to sunlight, to dew on grass, to a silence that feels full instead of empty. Elira's house stands quiet, her door closed, her garden blooming, not with flowers, but with voices, yours, others. Stories once buried, now rising like wild mushrooms after a storm. You never hear her sing again. But when it rains, truly rains, you listen. And in the hush between the drops, you remember how to speak again